Hello, good morning, everyone. Om Shanti.
Good morning. I'm Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. So warm welcome to you all today. Today the thought was to discuss and learn about angels and angelic consciousness. The word human is a nice word, and just looking at the word human, it's sometimes it's very important to be human. To be human means that I'm able to understand, I'm able to feel that everyone it's okay to make mistakes, and to at the end of the day to feel that we are all in it together. And the word angel is angels are also human beings, but with an awakened or enlightened or unlimited consciousness. So human to angel, the journey of a human consciousness to an angel consciousness. Just like we watched in this clip, but various practical ways humans like think, angels feel. So the transition from thinking to feeling is like on a deeper level, on a more subtle level. So human consciousness is more linked with the physical aspects, and the angelic consciousness is more linked with the subtle experience. Humans ask, angels trust. So asking is when there is expansion, when there is confusion, I ask for things. But trust is a very subtle feeling to hold on to. So angels stay in the essence. The consciousness of the angel is to be in the essence, to be able to penetrate the external and to look at and appreciate the invisible energy in each and every one of us. It's the consciousness of an angel. It's like human consciousness is to criticize, like the video said, to criticize or to comment on something. And an angelic consciousness is to empathize. So criticism is the energy where I constantly judge the other person. I constantly make opinions about the other. But angelic consciousness is when I accept. So from resistance to acceptance. So an angel is aware of the larger picture. It says humans hear, but angels listen. So from hearing to listening. So hearing is just about hearing about the superficial or hearing the words, but angels are able to listen to the feelings. So just like a doctor understands the pulse of someone, just like understanding where each and every one is coming from, and to empathize with them. Like humans diagnose, angels heal. So diagnosis, so is my mind always thinking about diagnosing the problem, or also to, once I've diagnosed, then can I then focus my energies to healing? So right now we know what the diagnosis of the world is. Right now we know what is happening. But am I able to now spread the energy of healing? the energy of light in the world. And that's why angels are seen as beings who give hope, because they can change the hopeless into hopeful. Humans measure, angels donate. So measuring is also the energy of the physical. So I keep measuring. Even I would measure my virtues or how much have I given. But donation, something which cannot be measured. It's very incognito. So all of us have these sanskars, or this DNA of an angel inside of us, because we all belong to that race. That as a human world family, we all have those imprints, and these imprints are actually the imprints of the divine, of God, to be selfless, to be unconditional. And so this transition from a human to an angel is actually kind of returning back to my original nature. So let us learn together, and feel free to interject and share your thoughts. Can you all see the board here? Maybe we can bring it.
Yes.
Yes, it's clear.
See the journey from human to angel. So let us discuss a little bit. When you think of the word angel, what comes in the mind? Maybe an image or a few words that describe an angel that comes to our mind. Anyone? What words come in our mind when we think of the angel?
Magic with the magic wand.
Magic, right?
Helping others.
Helping, yeah. Very nice.
Flying.
Carefree.
Flying, right? Carefree, very nice.
Angel investor.
What was that, John?
Angel investors.
Angel in the steps.
No, angel investor.
Angel investor, Sudhir ji. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Any other thoughts?
Boundless.
Boundless. No boundaries. Nice.
Unconditional.
Sorry?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional. Nice.
Always smiling.
Smiling. Yeah. Smiling. Always smiling. Very nice.
Messages from God.
Messenger from God. Excellent. Messenger of God. Very nice.
Always giving.
Giving. Very nice. Giving. And always, always. Not sometimes, but always. Very nice. Very nice.
Divine personality.
Divine personality. Very nice.
Happy.
Happy. Always happy. Always happy.
Pure.
Pure. Very nice.
Joyful.
Is it joyful?
Joyful.
Joyful. Joyful. Very nice. There's so many words, to describe an angel. If I look at a human and I just create like a sketch of a human, right? If I want to make it into an angel sketch, what do I need to do to make it into an angel?
Wings.
Yeah. Very nice.
Powerful aura.
Powerful aura. Yeah. You have wings and you have this aura. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Smiling face.
Smiling face. Right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Spark in the eyes.
Spark in the eyes. Very nice. Excellent. I can't draw it, but you can see.
I know.
Very nice. Yeah. So it's like this transition or this change. Very interesting how this change works. Right now the whole world is undergoing a change, a transition, and we all know it in so many different ways. And this energy of transition of the external is governed by the energy which is internal. And so this whole time is inspiring us to make this shift, to make this transition. We had become very busy in our lives, just holding on to things and rushing in our life. And now it's kind of a turning point. That the whole of humanity, whole of our entire race is experiencing. And this turning point is whenever we drive, there's sometimes a turning point. So there's a point after which you make a turn or a turn. And so this transition from human to angel is also like that. So a human which is the opposite probably, or the limited version of all of what we are seeing here. To make that shift from that limited space into the unlimited space, that turning, or we call it returning, the turning or that returning. And that happens with the point. Sometimes when we drive and suppose we have missed the exit that we were supposed to take, right? Then what do we need to do to go back to the exit? What turn do we need to make in order to go back to that exit?
Take the next exit and turn around.
Yeah, right, very nice. And what that turn is called?
U-turn.
Yeah. Excellent. We call it the U-turn. U-turn, right? U-turn. If I look at the word you, right? You. The opposite of you is one letter that is the opposite of you is Yeah, I. So human to angel is more like from I turn to you. It's like from I to you is the consciousness where I'm not focused on myself. I'm not thinking about myself. And that is I, right? That is I. And you is I'm thinking about others, keeping others in the front. And also thinking about you. You refers also to the divine, to God, to the divine, to think about you, to make this U-turn in my thinking, in my perspective. And it's just the opposite, right? I was going here, I take a complete U-turn. Oh, U-turn. And so time is inspiring us to make that turn so that I can focus more from the I life, I-centered or I-focused, to you life, where the divine plan, God's energy, God's thoughts, and others, thinking about others, is my primary focus of life. So when I make that turn, that's what it's about, human to angel. That's like all these qualities, being unconditional, always giving. I can only give if I think about the other. And a very interesting thing here is, if I give, does it mean I reduce? Or does it mean that I increase in my inner capacity? If I give, do I reduce or do I increase?
Increase.
Yeah, very nice. It may feel like externally that it's reduction, giving, I give something, then my is, but the very fact of being able to give, I have to be a notch up in order to give. Because energy always will flow from the higher potential to the lower potential. So giving, and angels are remembered as beings who always give. We all remember people in our life that go out of their way to help us in our time of crisis or in the time of need. So angels know when to act, how to act. They will come, they will spread that they're all these inner qualities, and then they will go. Because they don't think about the I. And because they don't think about the I, then there's no blockage in the mind. And that's why they are messenger of God. Like a postman, like messenger. So God, why does God need messenger? God is vibrating with his pure light, pure energy, love. But that energy needs to be carried in a subtle vehicle into the entire humanity, into the entire world. And an angelic mind acts as that vehicle so that God's energy can be transported into the world. And because the angelic mind is not focused on I, the moment I focus on I block that energy. Because the energy is coming in order to go. So if I focus on I, then I block it. Then I just block it. And then I'm not able to be a channel or a conduit. A channel always thinks about how to pass it on. A channel is just a medium, incoming and outgoing. A channel doesn't have anything of its own. And so a mind that is just a channel. So I'm not focused on I'm not focused on thinking too much about my needs or my desires, but I'm focused on the Supreme God, and I'm able to channelize His energy, receive His energy, and then just let it flow out into the world through my thoughts, through my words, through my actions. And if there is a backflow, if there is a reverse flow that happens from outside to me, then this original flow stops. And so it's very interesting if I look at I and you. Yeah. I and you. I and you. It's a very simple shift. Say you first. Say you first. You first. Not I first, but you first. You first. So in my thoughts, I just say you first. You know, in our life, we have so many relationships, and there is one relationship which we always call that relationship is like an angel. And who is that one in our lives?
Mums.
Yes, right. Mothers, yeah. Mothers are called angels because they always keep their children first. They make decisions in their life, keeping children's interests first rather than their own interests. And that's why they are angels, because you first. If I first, then it's then I'm blocking. Then I'm like, I cannot be a messenger of God. But you first. It's like when I'm in the consciousness of you first, then there's just one way flow. See, highways, we're able to achieve very high speeds on the highway because it's all one way. If it is a two-way and there's no barrier in between, then it's difficult. Then it's like we have to be very attentive. The traffic, the speed cannot be that large. So one way versus two way. So when I'm an angel, in that frame of mind of an angel, I am one way. One way is coming from Him to the world, and I'm just a medium, a conduit. And two way is when I mix my own desires or needs, wants, and then that kind of blocks the flow. So sometimes there is flow coming from God, but sometimes there is flow coming from outside, and then I become confused inside. And all the confusion that is related to the human consciousness is a result of that two-way flow that takes place. So if I just feel my mind is just a one-way medium for God to express His energy in the world. So let us take a few moments to experience the mind of an angel. So the mind of an angel is focused on the beauty of the One. On the love of the divine, of the eternal, of the unlimited. Nothing else is as important as just focusing my energy, my thoughts on the Supreme. A radiant being of divine light, like a subtle point of light. And just absorbing. And appreciating, acknowledging that The divine is my eternal companion. The only one in the whole universe that knows me completely, that cares for me deeply, that loves me unconditionally. That life connection is always there for me. The divine being thinks about me personally. I just become saturated with that energy. And then I immerse the whole of humanity, the entire world in front of me. And I experience that energy of God reaching out to all the souls. A healing energy that is able to bring peace, bring love, bring happiness in their lives, in their minds. I'm just a carrier of God's energy. I carry God in my heart. And let Him shine through my being. And that light is transforming the world, making it pure, beautiful, bountiful, abundant. Om Shanti. A very interesting aspect to also look at and discuss is the whole aspect of wings. Now, wings. You see, angels have wings. Humans don't have wings. What is one creature? What is one creature that once didn't have a wing or didn't have wings, but later on develops wings? One
Butterfly.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So before a butterfly became a butterfly, it was a caterpillar. Yeah. Caterpillar. And then there's whole transformation that took place. And so the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly is essentially a butterfly has wings. And because of the wings, the butterfly can fly. So just understanding, how do wings work? How do wings work? Why? Because if we have wings, why can we fly if we have wings? And this whole, even this technology of an aeroplane, right? It's all based on a wing. And we need to have two wings. And we flap and we can fly. So flight here means that I'm able to be, so if I discuss flight of an angel. Right. So flight means that I'm free. Flight means that I'm elevated, experiencing an elevated dimension. Flight is no bondage. No bondage. So a mind that is free, a mind that is elevated, a mind that has no bondage is basically a mind that is able to fly. So in science, they say when they were developing wings or understanding how wings work and how are wings able to create the lift that is needed to push the being into the air, right? So a wing is, we call it, this is the cross section of a wing. Can we call it the airfoil? Call it the airfoil, which is the cross section of a wing. So what a wing really does, you say this is the air that is coming. What a wing really does is, because of this shape of the wing, the flow here is restricted because this width is smaller, and so velocity increases here, and this area is larger, so velocity decreases. And because of this, that difference in velocity, there is a difference in pressure, and that difference in pressure creates a lift. And when the lift is more than the weight, when the lift is more than the weight, then it will fly. So wings, what they are doing is creating an opposite thrust upwards in order to propel the bird or propel the aeroplane upwards. And so even when the bird flaps her wings, so what is happening is the bird is pushing the air down below, and then it is creating the lift upwards, and that's what is propelling the bird upwards. If the bird doesn't propel her wings, then it cannot fly. It cannot fly. The bird has to flap her wings like this. So it is basically creating that pressure difference that is allowing the bird to fly. So in my mind, if I think of how to create that lift, so what is the weight that is pulling me down, which I have to counter? The weight that is pulling me down is
Relationships.
Yeah, good. Relationships, yeah. The weight, the gravity. So what holds me? What holds my thoughts in this world? What holds my thoughts to just think about the story? Be I conscious, not you conscious. No? That is the weight. That is the weight. Flight means to be able to fly to God, to be able to fly to my reality, to live in that realm. And to be at ground means to be living in this limited consciousness of a human.
Would that be the Tamo consciousness? The limit? And the Sato?
Yeah, sure. Yes, that's true. So the tamo, we say, it's a Sanskrit word. Tamo means darkness. It kind of pulls it down. And the sato is when I'm flying up towards the light. That's very nice. Yeah. So essentially the weight that is pulling me down is all based on, the identity that I hold on in my mind, and there is a gravity, the pull of this elusive world that is pulling me down. And when I start to flap the wings, in the sense like, so when I push the air down below, so what is the air? Air means like all the situations, all the ambience, all the thoughts around me. From generally, I just stay there, but I have to fly above it. fly above it. So we say above and beyond. So whatever air there is of thoughts, I need to push it down. I need to push it down. So that pushing down or that flapping is actually flapping. Is an act of giving. It's an act of giving. So when I think of giving something, the moment I think of giving something, right, and I give intentionally through my actions, what do I give? I give happiness. I give cooperation. I give respect. I give love. No matter what the air is like, no matter what the surroundings are like, but through my words, I give sweetness, I give comfort. Through my thoughts, I give power. So an act of giving, it automatically pushes the mind upwards. And the more I give, the more I go up. The more I give, the more I go up. And then the wings through which I give, those wings are, we say it in different ways. Some call it the wing of zeal and enthusiasm. It's like with happiness, with contentment, and with enthusiasm, I'm able to give. And that propels me upwards. These wings could also be, and there are two wings, interesting, there are two wings. There's not just one wing. With one wing, we cannot fly. We need to have two wings. And so in spiritual journey also, there are two wings, which we really need to be very attentive to taking care of. One, we call it as knowledge or wisdom. We call it contemplation. The other is call it yoga or meditation. And both the wings. So I have to make both powerful. Knowledge means wisdom, and yoga means meditation. So when I'm able to give through both. So when I'm contemplating, and when I'm meditating, both of these acts are actually the acts that are empowering my wings, so that I can then give to the world. I can give to the world. And when I give, then I move up and move up and move up. So these wings allow me to serve, and then I fly up. And so the more the focus I keep on making these wings powerful, and both are important. So it's more like knowledge is understanding or theory, and meditation is more like experience, right? So theory and experience. So if I call it theory or understanding, and experience, which is the practical. Yeah. So in science, we have both the examinations, right? We have theory also and practical also. And we have to really excel in both, right? So theory and practical, meditation and contemplation, both. So when I dedicate my attention time to, so when I'm becoming you conscious, not I conscious. So in you conscious, I think about the eternal knowledge, the eternal wisdom of who I really am. Where have I come from? Who do I belong to? What do I have to do now? How do I enhance the quality of my actions? So that is the eternal wisdom, the eternal knowledge. And meditation is then I consciously experience being a soul, I constantly experience my original qualities and the supreme. So both this allow the flight to take place. And a very interesting element about this whole metamorphosis of a caterpillar to a butterfly, and the whole process of developing these wings is very interesting. It all happens through a caterpillar. Through a cocoon. So what happens in a cocoon is a caterpillar creates this covering around it, and in that covering of a cocoon, a caterpillar undergoes a process of rebirth, rejuvenation, renewal, where all its old cells are completely dissolved into a soup. And what happens is all the expansion is dissolved, and the caterpillar has some imaginal discs, we call it imaginal cells, and they become awakened. And those cells have the DNA of a butterfly. And those cells then create the wings. We have a short clip that describes what actually happens inside the cocoon. If we have time, we can just play it. Is that okay? Yeah, we can just watch it together. What happens when, what happens inside the cocoon? Let me play.
For the power to fly. How about shedding your skin and dissolving your own muscles? Now, believe it or not, that gruesome process is how caterpillars earn their wings. Here's what you might not know about what's inside a caterpillar's cocoon. Contrary to popular belief, this is not a cocoon. Only certain moths build cocoons, which are like a silky sleeping bag that covers the insect. This, on the other hand, is what's called a chrysalis. It's not a sac or a pouch, it's actually the caterpillar's own body. When it's time for the transformation to begin, the caterpillar's body ramps up production of a hormone called ecdysone, and that causes it to cast off its outer coating, sort of like how a snake sheds its skin. And underneath is a hard shell, similar to the exoskeleton of a beetle. After that, life for the little caterpillar gets oozy. First, it releases enzymes called caspases. These rip apart and dissolve cells in its muscles, digestive system, and other organs. But the enzymes don't quite liquefy all of the caterpillar. They leave key structures intact, like breathing tubes. At the same time, specialized cells called imaginal discs start waking up. Before the chrysalis stage, these discs were kept dormant by a series of hormones in the caterpillar's body. But once the transformation begins, those hormone levels take a nosedive, giving these discs the opportunity to do what they do best: build a butterfly. You see, each disc contains the genetic recipe to form a different adult body part, starting from the inside out. After 1 week, the digestive system of the butterfly is well on its way. And by day 16, the adult's legs, wings, eyes, and mouth are all present and in working order. Now, 2 weeks is a remarkably short time for all of this to happen, since each imaginal disc starts out with only about 50 cells and must multiply those into thousands just to form a single wing. And if you checked out the chrysalis around day 16, you might even be able to see those brilliantly colored wings. because for some species, their chrysalis turns transparent in their final days of metamorphosis. Now, fully formed, it's time to hit the road. The chrysalis splits open down the center and the butterfly escapes. Meanwhile, a reddish liquid spills out. That's all the waste the butterfly, nay, caterpillar, produced during its stay. Once its wings expand and harden, it's ready to mate, pollinate, and slurp nectar to its heart's desire. But one of the most interesting parts of all, research suggests that butterflies and moths can remember their caterpillar days. In one study, researchers trained moth caterpillars to associate an odor with an electric shock. So whenever the larvae smelled it, they'd move away. But even after they transformed into adult moths, they still avoided the scary smell. It makes you wonder what else they could recall from their younger days.
Yeah, I kind of found it quite interesting how this whole transformation takes place. And so the moment I step inside this cocoon is when these processes of, we say, shedding and dissolving. Take place. So shedding and dissolving. So I shed. So when I'm sitting in meditation inside this cocoon of silence, these are the two processes that happen, right? First is I shed. What do I shed? I shed my attachments. I shed whatever I think is mine. Whatever I think I hold on to in my thinking, is I easily shed it, just like a caterpillar sheds, right, in order to go inside the cocoon. And then the next step is dissolving. Dissolving is when I completely feel that I am light and I am being dissolved or being lost in the experience of a divine love from the Supreme, belonging to the Supreme. And so these two steps of shedding and dissolving then awaken the DNA of the angel that is in the soul. And then slowly and slowly, these wings start to develop. It's a process, but when daily attention and practice allows those wings to actually get strengthened. So this whole metamorphosis from a caterpillar to a butterfly, or from a human to an angel, takes place inside this cocoon of silence. And if you look at the body structure of caterpillar and a butterfly, or a creature that flies, is very different. Flying needs a lot of power, a lot of strength in the wings, because the bird has to constantly flip. The butterfly has to constantly flip around. And a few important things of that body is, one is called hollow bones. Their bones are hollow. Because they shouldn't add weight, because otherwise there is a lot of weight. So hollow bones, as opposed to a creature that doesn't fly, they don't have hollow bones, they have solid bones. And the other is their lung system. Their lungs are very powerful. Their lungs are very powerful, and their muscles in the wings are very powerful. Wing muscles. And so hollow bones is when, it's like my bones or my skeleton I make it hollow, meaning my identities that ground my life, or the frame that I feel I'm caught up in this life, I make it hollow. Means I stop giving, I stop feeding it. So I make my mind, hollow, in the sense I'm not too much focused on the actual the expansion of and the complications of things. And then the lungs is when I'm able to breathe well. So I allow the soul to breathe. You know what chokes the soul is ego. The moment I fall trap into ego, I'm not able to breathe properly. So the more I keep ego behind, I'm able to develop these strong lungs. And then there is this muscles that are built in the wings. So these muscles are basically these daily or regular practice of meditation and knowledge, gyan and yoga, we say in Hindi, or theory and experience. And that is what it takes for this metamorphosis to take place. It's a very natural process. It's a very natural process. So I really don't have to make a lot of effort, but just have a regular attention on these aspects, on just from I to you, making my bones hollow, and just being able to, from I to you consciousness, and my daily just attention on my contemplation and meditation. It's very simple. And then this daily attention, regular practice allows me to develop my wings. And then I can fly. Then I can fly. So being an angel takes this preparation, like this journey, it takes this preparation inside the cocoon. So within the mind, all these processes are taking place. So caterpillar is destined to become a butterfly because it has the DNA. This whole process is to awaken that DNA. And in the same way, all these qualities that we discussed of an angel are there within each one. But they may be dormant at times. And so this whole process allows for those dormant cells to be awakened. Just like we saw in the clip that dormant cells, imaginal discs, become activated. And they have the genetic code of a butterfly. So all the souls, each and every soul in this world, we all have this DNA, this code of an angel. So an angel, being an angel, is not aiming for or imagining something to become, like an abstract image, but it's more about just re-emerging my dormant qualities. And if you see, each angel is can be unique in a particular way. We call someone an angel of peace. We call them an angel of love. We can call them an angel of compassion, an angel of mercy, an angel of kindness, depending on the cells, the original cells that are there within each one. So the moment I look at someone with that vision of what is latent, what is dormant within the being, within the soul, I'm inspiring them to become an angel. And that's what the role actually God also plays, is just to look at each one with that vision of acceptance and that vision of belonging and that vision with that uniqueness that we all belong to Him. And then those latent qualities emerge. Those cells become activated. So the journey is all internal, the process is all internal. And what I have to focus on is just on my internal processes of reawakening that DNA of the angel, of the butterfly. So the moment I pay attention to not what I'm getting in life, but what am I giving to life? What am I giving to life? How is the world better? How am I contributing to making the world a better place? Both physically and in my thoughts. And when I focus on my contribution, then I don't have any fear inside, because there's nothing that I hold on to. I'm very, very secure. I don't feel insecure at all. And because I'm not thinking about myself, then who thinks about me?
God.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. And that's why they say angels are in direct communication with God. Because when the angels don't think about themselves, it's like God who takes care. So they are puppets of God. So we are all those puppets of God. God is in charge of our life. So it's a beautiful transformative experience to go within and just shed off the old, reawaken the original, and make my life new and colorful. And then it's color, happiness, smile, all these things, carefree. Because that's what the experience is when we fly. When we fly. So let us just take a moment and just experience this process of shedding and dissolving. So I just feel that for a few moments I choose to shed off the consciousness of I. To shed off this consciousness of mine. This limited I that I see is very temporary. This limited I took birth. This limited I will die. But that's not who I really am. That's just an extension of, or an expression of who I really am. And so let me just shed off that temporary consciousness. And let me get absorbed in the feeling of belonging to the one source, eternal source, benevolent source. It's like dissolving, it's like sinking deep into the ocean, very deep. So I sink inside God's heart. And I hear the whisper, God telling me, my dear child, You are mine. And I am yours. There's nothing else that is important. Just me and you. Feel getting absorbed in this, in beautiful presence of God. And my heart is whole again. I'm able to breathe again. I'm able to be alive again, to reawaken again, to fly again. This is this whole process of developing the wings. It's a natural process, and it takes place automatically. And there might be a struggle that is there. A butterfly goes through a lot of struggle when the wings are formed and then when it's actually coming out. But those struggles are needed in order for the wings to become powerful. If that struggle is not there, then the wings won't have strength. So if I'm experiencing during this journey, during this process, a struggle, maybe a struggle in letting go of something, or a struggle in absorbing God's love, that struggle is also important. Because that struggle allows me to develop or strengthen my wings. Sorry. There is a nice clip about it, about how that struggle is important in life. Should we watch it for a couple of minutes? Yeah. Let me play that clip. Just hold on.
Of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared. The butterfly struggles. A man found a cocoon of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared. He sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through that little hole. Until it suddenly stopped making any progress and looked like it was stuck. So the man decided to help the butterfly. He took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly then emerged easily, although it had a swollen body and small shriveled wings. The man didn't think anything of it and sat there waiting for the wings to enlarge to support the butterfly. But that didn't happen. The butterfly spent the rest of its life unable to fly, crawling around with tiny wings and a swollen body. Despite the kind heart of the man, he didn't understand that the restricting cocoon and the struggle needed by the butterfly to get itself through the small opening were God's way of forcing fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings to prepare itself for flying once it was out of the cocoon. Moral of the story? Our struggles in life develop our strengths. Without struggles, we never grow and never get stronger. So it's important for us to tackle challenges on our own and not be relying on help from others.
Om Shanti. So the message is that these struggles, or if we experience any kind of going back and forth, is a part of the process. It's a part of the process, so that our wings become strengthened, and we're then able to take a flight. Take a flight. One other thing that I wanted to discuss is about the need of angels at this time especially, at this time, why the world needs for all of us to become awakened, why the world and God has given us this time to re-emerge, reawaken our angelic DNA, the DNA of the butterfly, is because the world needs angels at this time and the times to come. Because angels are like bridges. So this is God, and this is, we say, world, and these are angels. So angels angels are the bridge to bridge between God and the world. So God wants to transform the world, and for that his energy needs to be spread in the world. That energy of this pure love, energy of acceptance, energy of compassion, energy of being unconditional, selfless. So as angels, it's our duty now just to act, to reawaken, act as a bridge, as a carrier, be a postman of God, be a postman of God. So I'm just a postman. I work for God. And what is my salary? What salary does God give me if I work for God? Yeah. So that salary is that constant experience of bliss, constant experience of happiness, joy in life is my salary. So we're all workers of God. We don't need to think about our employment. We are constantly employed by God. This service of the bridge to carry out his energy in the world. Thank you, Om Shanti. Those were a few thoughts that shared today. Please do share your thoughts and inspirations. It would be nice to hear what you will think and any inspirations. Please feel free to. Does it kind of make sense what we are discussed today?
Yes.
Yes, very, very beautiful.
Hi, I'm Sudhir from Michigan.
Hello.
And yeah, hi. While I was going through the butterfly thing, it's indeed is very beautiful, but I kind of was thinking that in order to evolve into a higher level of consciousness, why struggle is needed. I thought surrender is what works. So if we don't struggle with ourselves, that's when personally I have experienced liberation. When we stop struggling with ourselves.
Very nice. I think it's a lovely thought. And like surrender, the process of shedding and dissolving it comes through the experience of surrender. And then struggles is more like it's just understanding that not every day is the same. And even if we are on the path of transformation, we may experience days because we have a huge set of old sanskars, like old patterns of being a human or of being in role consciousness that we have to overcome. And that's why sometimes there could be a feeling of battling, so to say, battling in the sense that a thought is coming, a waste thought is coming, and I have to, I'm experiencing that waste thought is coming. And at that moment, as you said, I have to surrender. So the process of struggle is actually also linked with surrender. So I surrender but that struggle is depictive of that that battle, so to say, with the old self or with the old thoughts that sometimes can come and influence the mind. And the process to win over is through surrender, as you said, because shedding and dissolving is what surrender creates the experience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other thoughts or any?
I would like to add over here is like the way the caterpillar goes in cocoon. Now that cocoon is again made up of the sticky substance which it releases itself, right? So in our case, it can be like before coming in Gyan or maybe after coming in Gyan, we are so covered with all the attachments and all those stuff. So when we sit in meditation, we can go step by step and overcome those things. So after a period of time, once we are into that process and through that process, definitely will come out as an angel butterfly. That's what I thought.
Very nice. Thank you. Very nice. Any other thoughts?
But I feel it's not always possible to be in that state. So what will you suggest? Like everyone has different experiences. So halka rehna, udte rehna, jaise Baba kehte udte raho, udate raho. So I've seen many ke possible nahi hota hai. So in such case, what will be your suggestion? Like?
It's like this act of giving is can I give in my every action? So if my focus is on giving, then I'm able to fly. just like the pressure difference is created when I have an act of giving. So an act of selfless service, an act of comforting someone. So that helps me to fly up. So consciously engaging in positive contribution towards making people's lives better, towards spreading that energy. That helps in overcoming any heaviness that I have.
But that is easily done when it is not related to the souls with whom you are closely binded, like family and all. But when it comes to the family members, sometimes it so happens, maybe karmic account or whatever you say. So that time it is not that easy to be in angelic state or in that free spirit way, Baba says.
So it's like giving. So if I'm with my friends and family, just giving them a listening ear, just giving them respect, giving them love, giving them cooperation. And it's a small thing. In any scene, if I'm interacting, can I just be an observer and give them respect in that moment? And it's a very easy, natural, feeling to hold on to, that in this, my intent is to help the other person. So just that intent allows me to fly. That subtle intent allows me to fly. Physically, I may or may not be able to, depending on the situation. But just having that intent, that frees the soul. That frees the soul. And that releases the karmic.
Saurabh, would you say these situations, which arise, are these would you say these are the struggles?
Yeah. And they are also important because otherwise, where would I fly above? So air, wings are basically the deflect direction of air, right? That is acting the force. And so the air or whatever situations are needed in order for me to train, to train. They come as a training. Eagles, how they train their children to fly. What eagles do is
drop them.
They will drop them. And when there is a free fall, then automatically they learn how to fly. They learn how to flap their wings. Sometimes situations may seem like a free fall. Like we don't know what is coming next, free fall. It's like everything going down. But this is the situation when we can really make that shift. This is the greatest opportunity. When I see everything falling is when I can rise. So situations are really an opportunity for me to grow. Great. Any other thoughts? Please hold on, I'll be back in a minute. Just a second. Okay, Om Shanti. We will have a blessing for everyone. So we'll start with everyone who is on the call. Peace 108. Who is that? Maybe know your good name. They joined there. So it's a blessing. Your goodness lies in your ability to express profound love and regard for others without ever saying a word. So thank you for joining. And this is for Sister Dina. Welcome. You brighten the dim and dark corners of the world by knowing there is untold benefit in every moment and pure goodness in every soul. Thank you, Dina Ben. And this is for Rekha Ben. Om Shanti. Each day you rise with the pure desire to uplift the world through your virtues and gifts. The goodness of your generosity lights your life like a sky of stars.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. And this is for Bhartesh Bhai. Through your generous heart, you become a dear friend to humanity.
Hey, thank you. Star 6.
Because you always look for the chance to give, goodness fills your being the way water fills the ocean.
So true of him. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is Anuben. Welcome. Is it on phone, Anuben? Yeah. On the phone, 734-667-2103. You have taken time to discover what is good and magnificent inside of you. You are now ready to serve from this rich space and are destined to light up the world. Thank you. And this is for Sister Kiran. Each morning you turn on the light of spiritual awareness. This simple practice illuminates your goodness and turns you into a living lamp that provides light and guidance to those who are lost. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. This is for Aditi Ji, Aditi Ben. We have learned to smile from the heart. Your smile works a quiet magic that dispels sorrow and takes souls home to their goodness. Thank you for joining. And this is John. Hello, John. You have the courage to follow the voice of truth within. You trust it will take you to a place where a higher music can pour through you and inspire others to dance to the beat of their goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. And Mali, welcome, Mali. Your goodness has turned into greatness because of your humility. You understand your talents are gifts from the divine and they've been given to serve mankind. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And Sudhir Ji, this is, you inspire trust in others because they know you wish for their well-being. Because of this, the good and true treasures of life are always on your doorstep.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Archana Ben, your magical eyes are windows that invite others to wander into landscapes of spiritual goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is for Lalita Ji. Welcome. You infuse everything you say with goodness. Your wise and peaceful words disarm defenses, open hearts, and inspire others to blaze trails of possibility.
Thank you, Sarabhai.
Thank you. This is Lakshmi Ji, Lakshmi Kakarala. You bring the deepest joy possible to those who know you because your presence spotlights the goodness within them. In your company, they remember the wonder of their true nature. Thank you. This is for Krishna, right? Your goodness lies in the power of your love. It penetrates defenses and lights the blazing fire of courage and beauty in those who know you. Thank you. And this is for, is that Swati pen? Real Me XT. It's for you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for joining. Your good and peaceful nature is a sanctuary that offers healing to the wounded, rest for the weary, and hope for the disheartened.
Thank you.
Thank you. And are there others as well? Children are also there with you?
Om Shanti Saurabh bhai.
Om Shanti. Oh, is that Simran Bhai?
Haan ji, Saurabh bhai.
Bhai. Okay, this is for you, Simran Bhai.
तो आपकी जो picture है, आराम मिलता है।
Explaining to kids.
अच्छा लगता है।
Simran Bhai, this is for you. By anchoring your goodness and peace, you protect others from getting lost in the sea of sorrow. In your presence, others feel secure and safe.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Saurabh bhai.
Thank you. And Jayashri Ben, this is for you. In a world driven by performance, you emerge goodness in the hearts of those who witness the beauty and power of your being. This alone inspires them to live from the heart. And we have someone who has S on their screen. It says, your goodness lies in the power of your pure feelings. You wish to uplift not just those who know you, but all of mankind. These pure wishes work like a magic spell that dispels sorrow and enables others to rise up to their magnificence. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you.
And this is Sister Sonam. Welcome. Om Shanti. Your peaceful eyes are mirrors that allow others to see their forgotten beauty and goodness. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Do we have anyone else? Did we miss out on anyone else? Is Sister Joy also with us? I think Krishna ji raised your hand. You want to share something? Go ahead. Anyone else sitting with someone that we didn't get chance to share blessing for them?
David want
David.
to get a blessing.
Okay,
He's
David.
asking for a long time
David.
now.
David, this is the blessing for David. He's a 7-year-old child. Beautiful. We have learned to let go of your inner commentary and listen to souls from a silent space. Your silence allows souls to see solutions and glimpse their goodness. It's very silent soul.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is for Angel, the little angel. Your good heart is a sacred space that welcomes the world. Those who enter hear the bells of sweet silence and remember their holy beauty. And this is for Nishant ji. This is for Nishant ji. Your goodness in your wise way of loving. Your goodness lies in your wise way of loving. While seeing the potential of others, you give them space to make mistakes, knowing it's their trail towards wisdom.
Saurabh bhai, for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And there's one more blessing, and maybe I can take it for Saurabh. God. Anita Ben, did I share for you? Did I share?
Yes, the Peace 108.
Oh, okay. And Virendra Bhai is also there, right? This is for him.
No, he's not here. This is for you, Saurabh.
Achha, okay. Okay, this says, by making God the light of your life becomes a beacon of hope in the world.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Great.
Saurabh bhai, this is Deena.
Hello, Dina ji. Maybe we can turn on our videos if we have a moment.
Okay.
We can just see each other, whoever can possibly. Yeah, can we see each other now? Yeah, great. Oh, John is in a car. You're sitting in a car.
That's right.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good to see everyone. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Great.
Thank you for wonderful session, Saurabh.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining, and it's always nice to connect on Sundays. So thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. It was very
And
beautiful.
thank you. Thank you. And John, have a safe drive to wherever you're going.
All right.
Yeah, everyone else have a beautiful, wonderful day and a long weekend, Memorial Weekend. Let's make it memorable.
Thank you so much for such a lovely class. As a student, we did study metamorphosis, but how to apply it and what it was just simple 4 stages, but now you've given us the insights of it. Beautiful class. And I didn't know we all had this DNA of being angels. Thank you so much for awakening.
Nee, thank you. Even I learned it. Yeah. So it's
Thank you so much, Saurabh.
Thank you, Tina Ben. Lovely to see you.
Thanks.
And is a doctor, physician in Michigan, and really nice to have you join us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Others, anyone would like to share something? Final thoughts. Mali, how are you doing, Mali? It's nice to see you. Maybe your mic is muted. You would like to just say hello. It's nice to see you after some time. Okay, then everyone have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. Have a good Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.